Hey friends, welcome back. Today I'm going to do a book haul. So I have been collecting books for a while again, like usual, and they've accumulated into a good pile that I can now haul for you. So I'm going to start with this bundle. It's Mary-Kate and Ashley, Two of a Kind, The New Adventures of Mary-Kate and Ashley, and One Full House of these like little chapter book things. I got this from a friend. She is a big Mary-Kate and Ashley fan, and she's got a big collection, and she said these were some of her doubles, so she offered them to me, which is really, really sweet of her, so I'm excited to add these to my collection. Then I got two books sent to me by the author. So I got Body by Shan Coons. Like both of these books that I'm going to tell you about, I don't know a ton about, other than like what the author kind of told me and what I read a little bit about. So this one I believe has to do with this girl's body image and perhaps her journey through, I don't know if she diets or anything, but Hope hates her body. She always has. So anyway, yeah, this is a Christian fiction, and it's a Christian contemporary. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see what I think about this one. The Theatrical Tragedy by Josiah Posey. This one's a little bit shorter. This one, he was telling me, is more of a dark take on the spiritual world and how it attacks people. So yeah, I am interested to see what this one is about, because this is also Christian fiction. The one day I had gone to the thrift store and I had found this entire pack, not a pack, but bundle, whatever, of Mrs. Jeffries books. So I'm super excited for these. And I own 2 or 3 of hers already, and none of these were the ones that I owned. So that was really, really awesome. So I've got a big stack of Mrs. Jeffries. I got this bundle of Nat Geos for free from the thrift store the one time. So I was like, ooh, free Nat Geos? That never happens. So this is for collaging purposes. Then I found Emma Watson by Joan Aiken, which is Jane Austen's unfinished novel completed. So I'm curious about this one. I thought it was funny because there is an Emma Watson in Hollywood, so I thought it was interesting. But yeah, I'm curious about this one. I've only tried Jane Austen book once and I DNF'd it, but I really like the movies, so we're gonna give this one a shot. I thought I would give it a shot because it seemed more unique, like it's one of her unfinished novels, so that's gonna be, I think, less circulating than all of her other novels that are highly published, and you know, so I thought that's why I would grab that one and give it a shot. I found Around the World in 80 Days, because if you guys remember, when we did the Around the World in 80 Days readathon in spring, I had my book and it has disappeared. I don't know where on earth it went, so I have this one now. Then I found Don't Look Now by Daphne du Maurier. This is one of the few stories that I've read from her, and this is the one that I've liked the most so far. I thought it was a short story, but it looks like a legitimate full-length novel. So yeah, I'm excited to have this in my collection, and that it's vintage. I grabbed 2 of these. So I've got Little Men and Best in Children's Books. So I really like these covers. I don't know, Nelson Doubleday ink. I think I have a couple of these other ones. These might not even be the same. I thought, let's see. Junior Deluxe Edition. These might not even be the same because they look a little different. But anyway, I just love these covers. So when I find one that I'd actually read, then I want to pick it up. I'm not going to collect them just for looks. I also found 2 Sherlock books, which I am pretty excited about. So I found Rivals of Sherlock Holmes, so 40 complete stories with the original illustrations. So that's super interesting. Complete Original Illustrated Sherlock Holmes by Arthur Conan Doyle. 37 short stories. So that's cool. So I grabbed that, and then I found the Encyclopedia of Sherlockiana. But this is essentially what it is. This is an encyclopedia of words and terms that Sir Arthur Conan Doyle has used in his Sherlock storytelling. So I think that's like really interesting that like a fiction, I mean I'm sure Tolkien has one too, but that a fiction world would have an encyclopedia. I think that's fun. Then I found an entire trilogy at the thrift store. The Door Within Trilogy. The Door Within Trilogy. So I found all 3 of them in really good condition. Funnily enough, this one was $1 more than these ones. Weird. But this is a Christian YA fantasy? Maybe? I think? I found Game Over by Andrew Clavin. This is the Mind Word Trilogy, book 3. I believe I have book 1, so, or do I have book 2? I'm not sure. I have one other one from this trilogy, so when I found this one, I was like, yep, we're gonna grab that. I found a Daniel Ross mystery by Gilbert Morris. So this one is Revenge at the Rodeo. I do have a couple others in this series, in this edition, so that's pretty fantastic. And he is a Christian author also. I haven't looked at this stack for a while because, like I said, I've been collecting this for like months. I got 2 Galaxy science fiction compilation of short story. I don't know, it looked like maybe this was something you could subscribe to, or I don't know, but it's really intriguing me. So look at the back. So yeah, one of the authors is Frank Herbert, so that's probably what drew me in to try these. But I don't know, we'll try some short story science fiction from a bit more of a classic author. I grabbed this one kind of on a whim because if you remember in my birthday month, I actually have the Lion King edition of this Disney book. And I was like, wait, what? Maybe I'm gonna collect all of the Disney classics in this kind of book binding. So yeah, I don't know, we'll see. But I found Aladdin, so. Ooh, I found Read Aloud Poems for Young People. And you guys know that I'm a sucker for these kinds of like children's short story, rhyming, poetry type of books. So, and it's beautifully in the style that I like, the short and simple, looks like it would have rhythm. I'm excited. I'm excited. This I thought would be interesting, and I thought my husband might enjoy this one too. So Stats Canada, Satire on a National Scale. So I'm interested. I hope it's going to be funny. 35% of advice given in any home hardware does not come from an actual employee. 67% of Canadians own summer snow pants. Oh boy, that's sad. 32% of Canadians can't spell toque, but own at least 4 of them. If you guys don't know what a toque is, it's essentially a beanie. But yeah, I think this could be really funny. I do have this series already, but my edition of The Shield of Honor is like a library edition and it's pretty beat up. So I saw this one and it was in really good condition, so I'm going to swap those 2 out. For Love or Loyalty by Jennifer Hudson Taylor. The McGregor Legacy. So, I don't know anything about this one. Like, as I said, some of these have been sitting here for months. It looks piratey. There's a ship on the back. I believe this is a Christian author. Yes. Christian author. So, yeah, I'm here for this. Pirates, Christian author. I'm down to try that. I did find Romans 1 and 2, well, no, Romans Volume 1 and Volume 2, Living by Faith. These are little like Bible study courses, and I love finding these, especially vintage ones. So yeah, next time I study Romans, I'll pull these bad boys out. I found The Peacock Throne by Lisa Karen Richardson. This one looks like a very romance book, but I think because of the ship, honestly, I think that's what sold me on it. I don't know about this. Is this a Christian author? I don't think that this is a Christian author. So I'm not really sure what made me get this because it looks a little too romancy for me. But the pirate ship. The pirate ship. I Survived the Shark Attacks of 1916 by Lauren Tarshish. I actually read this one last year, but I mean, it's a shark book, so I wanted it. I purchased Lone Wolf by Reka Clausen. This is Chantel. As Chantel Reads All Day, this is her daughter. So she actually published her own book, and I'm really excited to read it. Yes, that's going to be high on my priority this fall to read Lone Wolf. And the cover is really cute. Oh, I just saw I got another Mrs. Jeffries from a different location, obviously. So yeah, there's another Mrs. Jeffries. For my birthday, from my friend Becca, she got me a reading journal, which I've never actually had a reading journal before. So this is kind of cool. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to use this. We'll see. I'm interested to look through this and see what... It looks fun. It looks fun. Okay, well that's cool. And then she also got me How to Be a Wildflower, a Field Guide by Katie Daisy. And look at this. Beautiful illustrations. Like, I can't even get over this. It's stunning. So I'm really excited to look through that. I got Driven by Eternity by John Bevere. Making Your Life Count Today and Forever. This, I must have purchased this after I read the other one by John Bevere, The Bait of Satan, which I had issues with, so we'll see about this. Becoming a Woman of Extraordinary Faith, What If You Gave It All to God by Julie Clinton. I just want to be a woman of extraordinary faith, so when I see a title like that, I'm instantly drawn to pick it up. I found this a little bit, this is definitely a vintage book. So this is Little Lessons of Large Importance Learned from the Holy Scriptures, But God by V. Raymond Edmond, with poems by Annie Johnson Flint. So it just looks super vintage, and there's poetry in here, and there's like daily readings, and so I'm very, very interested. Rise of the Wolf by Jennifer A. Nielsen. This is part of a series, I believe. Mark of the Thief, Book 2. Right. I have not started this series. I don't know if I own any of the other ones in this series, but I did like her False Prince series. It's on my favorites shelf. So I have high hopes for this series also. I hope I like it. I've got Barbed Liars, Canadian Venomous Verse. Illustrations by Aislinn. Okay, so, forward by Margaret Atwood. So this, I'm thinking, is Canadian poetry, potentially humorous. I'm very interested. Then I found Septimus Bean. This is from the illustration style that I grew up with. I have a different book by this illustrator. So yeah, I'm excited to have this vintage children's book in my collection also. Then Mud Shark by Gary Paulson. I quite enjoy Gary Paulson's writing, and it has the word shark in the title, and this illustration style is stunning. So, I mean, that was an easy choice for me. Before I get to my mass market paperbacks, I want to share with you two new books that I bought. I know, I never buy new books, you guys. Never. I was just feeling it one day, and my husband approved, so... The Fellowship, The Literary Lives of Inklings, J.R. Tolkien, C.S. Lewis, Owen Barfield, Charles Williams. So, if you don't know, these four men were friends and in real life, in history, and they called themselves the Inklings. It was like their own little like writers club, book club kind of thing, and this is a book about them. So I'm very interested to read that one. And then there's this book that I have not even unwrapped yet because I was waiting to haul it. This is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland Through the Looking Glass. This is one of those, what are these called? Mina Lima books, yes. It's an interactive Mina Lima book. So Mina Lima is the illustrator, and the interactive part is, if you can see, there's all these gaps. Like sometimes they'll have like an envelope that you can actually open, and it's an invitation to the ball, or you know, whatever is applicable to the story. But very, very, very excited to have this for my Alice collection. Now on to our mass market paperbacks. First of all, I'll show you these gorgeous mint condition Lord of the Rings books, The Return of the King and Two Towers, and I already have The Fellowship in this edition, so it's so perfect. But I'm excited to have these. I love these covers. I don't think they really speak very truly to the story, but I still love the covers. They're very cool. Then I grabbed two Stephen Lawheads in mass market paperback because I own these books already, but I have them in larger sizes, and I quite like mass market. So, and I think the other one I have in this trilogy is mass market, so this will work perfectly to complete the series. Again, God, Emperor of Dune. Actually, I don't think I've owned this one yet. This is one that I DNF'd, but I think I would revisit it with a different perspective. So this is part of his Dune world, the trilogy, and then this was book 4 is like a continuation. Not really part of the trilogy because it came later. Anyway, but now I have this. This one I'm just curious about. A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court by Mark Twain. I've actually never read anything by Mark Twain yet, and the title of this just intrigues me. So I guess we'll see what that one's about. I found Hand Me Another Brick by Charles Swindoll. I want to read some. I haven't even started reading Charles Swindoll yet, but I want to. And this cover is just so plain that I was interested. If that makes any sense. I found another Ray Bradbury, which is great. So Something Wicked This Way Comes. I don't know anything about the story. I've heard the title a bunch, but I don't know anything about the actual story. So yeah, it's Ray Bradbury. I have high hopes. I found The Invisible Man by H.G. Wells. Turns out I have a more like fancy edition of this book, but this is like a vintage copy, and I like this cover, so grab that, of course. I found another Heinz Feet on High Places by Hannah Hurnard, but this one is a vintage edition. So super excited to have this. I'm apparently collecting those books also. And then I have for lastly, oh yeah, this is it. I have two classics. So I've got War and Peace 2, which I didn't even know there was a second one to War and Peace. I haven't read War and Peace yet, but now I have book 2. Did you guys know that there was a book 2? Anyways, and then I found Homer the Odyssey. So I haven't read any Homer either, so I don't know what I'll think of this one, but it's now in my collection. So this is the beautiful stack of books that I get to now introduce into my bookshelves, and I'm really excited. I love book hauls, and this was kind of fun too because it took so long to get to this book haul that like I didn't even know what I was gonna find in this pile, so that was a lot of fun for me. Let me know if you have any thoughts on any of these books, if you think I'll like any of them, not like any of them, whatever. Let me know in the comments below. We can chat books there, and I hope you have a lovely day. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!